please, it's okay. You're stars. We like you for who you are. Insular divas whose talent allows you to pig out on the finer things in life because we all need something to aspire to. But being talented, which you are, isn't the same as knowing things or having the credibility to advise people on their politics. You rail against privilege, but you avail yourself of the greatest privilege of all, to remain clueless. You can't argue with a straight face, or even a gay face. That the Academy in 2026 still overlooks minority achievement, or that Hollywood is biased in favor of all white people, just Australians. But come on, man, can we live in the present? No Academy member this year filled out their ballot thinking, well, I didn't think Chalamet was very good, but I'll vote for him because he's white. Hollywood isn't a secret cabal of racists. It's a secret cabal of people terrified of looking like racists.
Hollywood doesn't just have a movie problem anymore. It has a credibility problem, and Bill Maher went straight at it. The outspoken comedian sounds completely exhausted with preachy woke themes, out-of-touch storytelling, and an industry that seems more focused on lecturing audiences than entertaining them. On a recent episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, he tore into Hollywood's obsession with ideology, and he didn't soften a single hit. The way he delivered, it felt brutal. So if you enjoy sharp political commentary with zero sugarcoating, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's jump right into it.
Glaring that Joe Rogan was not nominated.
For Best Podcast?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of popular, and, you know.
It is known.
It is known.
He's absolutely brilliant at what he does.
And he's very good at what, exactly. So
amazing.
You're going to have an inaugural podcast category.
And you don't have...
It just speaks to living in the blue sky bubble.
Yeah.
Like, get out of your fucking bubble, you know? I want to be one of you. I am one of you. But you're just so hard to defend because you're just such fucking smug assholes. And this town is the epicenter of the problem. It really is.
How many more liberal Democrats are there? There's you that say what you say.
Maher opened by pointing directly at Hollywood as the core of modern woke culture. In his view, this wasn't some minor shift happening at the edges. It was a deep cultural turn spreading into everything. Movies, television, even major award shows. The same industry that once lived or died on storytelling now seems increasingly focused on messaging first and entertainment second. And that's where the frustration begins. When studios care more about signaling virtue than telling compelling stories, audiences notice quickly. But Maher's argument goes further. He suggests this same ideological tilt also shapes who gets praised and who quietly gets pushed aside. Stay inside the approved worldview and the applause comes easily. Step outside it and the room suddenly turns cold. In his eyes, Hollywood has built a culture that rewards conformity far more than authenticity.
I just got a Golden Globe nomination for the one I did.
Oh, really?
That's my, yesterday.
How often do you get nominated for your specials?
Nothing. I used to get nominated for everything.
Yeah.
And then, the wokeness came in, and then I was considered conservative, which
are you bad?
Ridiculous. So I was what I call soft canceled.
Yeah.
Where you don't,
Well, I'm a Bill Clinton liberal, which is from the 90s, which is now called a Nazi.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
You're a white supremacist.
So this is the first time in a while I've been nominated for something.
Okay.
Which I think shows a little bit that we are coming out of the wokeness. I mean, I'm not going to win, and I'm probably not even going to go, but I take it as a victory that they were not able to ignore how good that special was. I just say that it's my last one.
And that leads directly into why Maher says his own name rarely gains traction during award season. According to him, it's not because he became irrelevant, it's because he stopped playing along. Maher argues that years of criticizing woke culture made it easy for Hollywood to place him into a box, the conservative box, even though that label doesn't fully define him. But once an industry decides what role you're supposed to play, it rarely makes it easy to step out of it. And that's the deeper issue he's pointing to. In Maher's view, Hollywood has become far more comfortable rewarding people who echo its political and cultural assumptions than engaging with those who challenge them openly. The result becomes a closed loop, a space where disagreement isn't debated on merit. It's simply sidelined.
I could gather, and I think I will because it'll be funny, just the incredibly stupid things that celebrities say about politics or finance or something.
Yeah, we're bad.
And then, so if you're like the person out there going, well, how can you live on $100 million a year? Vote Kamala Harris. It's like,
Yeah.
that's the game over. People are like,
Yeah.
I can't let the country in the hands of these people. I'll vote for this guy who's crazy, but at least this kind of crazy, I can almost relate to him more.
Maher then makes one of his sharpest points. Celebrities should almost never be treated like moral authorities on serious, public issues. And the reason is simple. Fame may amplify a voice, but it doesn't strengthen the argument. According to Maher, the problem isn't just that many stars are poorly informed. It's that money, status, and influence shield them from consequences most people deal with daily. They can make reckless statements, support bad ideas, or take dramatic public stances without facing the kind of fallout ordinary people would. But for everyone else, mistakes carry weight. Reputations suffer, finances take hits, lives can be disrupted. That divide matters. It creates a disconnect so wide that most people simply cannot relate to the world celebrities live in. And Maher's point is clear. If someone is insulated from real consequences, maybe don't treat them as an expert on reality.
A survey of Ohio voters found Taylor Swift's endorsement actually had a negative impact, with 24% saying it made them less enthusiastic about her as a candidate.
Come on.
Read the room, Democrats. Celebrities aren't helping, and why would they? In a country where the big issue now is affordability, outside of, I don't know, Springsteen and a few others, celebrities don't strike people as relatable or in touch. And what their activism mostly activates is eye rolls.
One of the biggest political miscalculations on the left was believing that celebrity endorsements still carried real weight with everyday voters. On paper, it looked powerful. Famous names, massive platforms, endless attention. But in practice, it landed very differently because voters don't confuse visibility with credibility, and the more celebrities stepped forward repeating polished, political talking points, the more staged it all began to feel. Not grounded, not convincing, just packaged. Instead of building trust, those endorsements often reinforced the exact image Democrats were trying to avoid, a party more focused on image than substance. And once voters start recognizing the performance for what it is, star power doesn't strengthen the message, it weakens it.
Please, it's okay, you're stars, we like you for who you are. Insulated divas whose talent allows you to pig out on the finer things in life, because we all need something to aspire to. But being talented, which you are, isn't the same as knowing things or having the credibility to advise people on their politics. You rail against privilege, but you avail yourself of the greatest privilege of all, to remain clueless.
That's exactly why listening to certain Hollywood celebrities can feel painfully awkward. There's often a massive gap between the confidence in delivery and the substance behind the message. Emma Watson, for example, faced criticism after comments on sensitive social issues left many feeling that important distinctions were being blurred rather than clarified. Billie Eilish also drew backlash after criticizing the Academy Awards for being held on stolen land, while critics pointed to contradictions much closer to home. And this is where public frustration really begins to build. It's not always just about disagreement. It's the sense of moral certainty without self-awareness. It's the performance of authority without the discipline of nuance. And instead of persuading people, those moments usually do the opposite. They make celebrities appear more disconnected from everyday reality than ever.
Pell lashed out at me last month because I called him out for saying there was more free speech in Saudi Arabia than here. Well, I was right. What he said was stupid. America has many problems, including free speech issues on both left and right, but we're real different than Saudi Arabia. If you don't believe me, try opening a lesbian art gallery there.
Maher pointed to Dave Chappelle's Saudi Arabia remark as a near-perfect example of that disconnect. When Chappelle suggested that Saudi Arabia has more free speech than the United States, it didn't just sound questionable. It sounded completely detached from reality, because this isn't some gray area. Saudi Arabia has long been associated with strict controls on expression, legal consequences for dissent, heavy media restrictions, and a record of human rights concerns that can't be ignored. And that's what makes comments like that land so badly. The issue isn't just disagreement. It's that sweeping claims are made with enormous confidence and very little grounding, in fact. And when influential figures speak that casually about serious issues, they don't come across as informed.
Wearing a t-shirt that says Jesus is the one true God. Ricky's right. Celebrities don't know about the real world. So Democrats, it's great you have all the big celebs, but people see them as an arm of the Democratic Party. which they already suspect for lacking common sense. I know. I know the celebrities mean well, and we thank them for having their heart in the right place, but just do you. Do what you do so well. Use your extraordinary talents for the noble cause of bringing relief from the problems that ribbons and pins can't fix.
Now, to be fair, most celebrities probably do mean well, but good intentions don't magically turn weak political commentary into sound judgment. These are people used to influencing audiences through charm, charisma, and visibility, not through deep understanding of policy, law, economics, or international affairs. Add in a media environment that often filters everything through a strong ideological lens, and it becomes easier to see why so much celebrity commentary misses the mark. That's why Maher keeps returning to the same core point. Celebrities should focus on what they actually do best: entertain, leave serious policy debates, complex political questions, and high-stakes decisions to people who are informed, accountable, and forced to live with the consequences. Because when stars drift too far outside their lane, even with good intentions, the result is usually the same: shallow, tone-deaf, and disconnected from how most people actually live.
You can't argue with a straight face, or even a gay face. That the Academy in 2026 still overlooks minority achievement, or that Hollywood is biased in favor of all white people, just Australians. But come on, man, can we live in the present? No Academy member this year filled out their ballot thinking, well, I didn't think Chalamet was very good, but I'll vote for him because he's white. Hollywood isn't a secret cabal of racists. It's a secret cabal of people terrified of looking like racists.
That same frustration also spills into the broader debate over recognition within Hollywood itself. In recent years, the industry has placed far greater focus on representation and inclusion, especially after public pressure campaigns and growing demands for institutional change. The stated goal has been to correct long-standing imbalances and open doors for voices that were historically overlooked. But critics argue that in trying so hard to fix one type of unfairness, Hollywood may have created a new credibility issue. The perception that identity sometimes competes with merit instead of expanding the field around it. Whether that perception is fully fair or not, it matters because audiences clearly feel it. They want awards to represent excellence, performance, storytelling, and craft, not ideological reassurance. And for Hollywood, that's the real challenge now.
But seriously, by this standard, you couldn't make Titanic today and hope to get nominated, or Braveheart, or Amadeus. Apollo 13 was about a bunch of white people because white people have done some stuff. But somehow, without a production code, Hidden Figures got made and completed the historical record about how we got to the moon. Sinners this year is up for more Oscars than any movie ever. Sinners is good. It doesn't need affirmative action. Neither did Parasite or Shape of Water, where she fish.
Movies don't need politics to be good, and they definitely don't need heavy-handed messaging to feel meaningful. What makes a film work has always been the fundamentals: a compelling story, sharp direction, strong cinematography, and a cast and crew capable of bringing everything to life. That's what makes audiences care. That's what makes films memorable. But lately, it feels like those basics are being pushed aside. Instead, we're seeing films that fall short in key areas still being elevated as if they're untouchable. And that's where the frustration really grows. Because when storytelling and craftsmanship take a back seat, audiences feel it. They may not always articulate it the same way, but they can tell when something is overpraised, underdeveloped, or being lifted for reasons that have little to do with actual quality.
I'm just tired of, no matter how much progress is made, social justice warriors feeling the need to gaslight us as if none of it had happened. A couple of years ago, the Academy established a very complex rule book that said you couldn't even be considered for Best Picture unless you met certain criteria, like 30% of the crew or 2 department heads had to be from underrepresented groups, and a main storyline had to be as well. Well, there goes my idea about a polka band in a ski town. I mean, please don't get us wrong. We're not saying you can't hire who you want or make a movie about whatever you want. Okay, that's exactly what we're saying.
That may be the wall Bill Maher has been running into all along. He never really catered to the woke crowd. And in today's Hollywood, that comes with consequences. His comedy is blunt, uncomfortable, and openly confrontational. The kind of style that challenges people instead of flattering them. But in an industry that increasingly rewards ideological comfort, that kind of honesty starts to feel inconvenient. And critics say the same pattern now extends far beyond comedy. From award shows to major studio recognition, more and more people feel like Hollywood is rewarding messaging over merit. And once audiences begin to believe that, the fallout doesn't stay small. Trust weakens, prestige erodes, and the industry drifts further away from the very people it's supposed to entertain. If this hit home, subscribe, drop a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.